So we're voting for change. Folks getting the chance to make a difference at the ballot box today. Greg?
Yeah, but are they showing up today to really take advantage of a real opportunity? Because this is our time. Tennessee is in play. Fox 13's Earle Farrell joins us live from Cordova. He has more on the numbers and speaking to our good friend and political commentator, Luke Vargas, who has been on the campaign trail all the way from Iowa. Good morning, Earl.
Good morning, Greg. And believe it or not, he's been all over the country this year, interviewing all kinds of people. Been down on how many rallies for all of the candidates. He said he's never met anybody like me in all your travels.
That's right.
It's been amazing.
Very unique fella.
Truly unique opportunity for the young man here. But the turnout here is light. We just talked to one of the Santorum's people, and they said light where they just were.
Right.
And also young people. We've only had one young lady. It was her first vote ever. She just turned 18 back in October. She was very excited about it, but she was saying that not a lot of young people are excited right now.
Right. You know, definitely not at this precinct, but across the country, we're seeing a general trend, even from when the voting began in Iowa, a small, about a 5% decrease as this election continues of the 18 to 29 demographic turning out. So something's not really lining up, and young people aren't getting as involved as I think GOP leaders would have hoped.
Well, anybody out there that's wanting to be people involved in the process, you said that maybe one of the issues, maybe they kind of switched the agenda to social issues and away from the economy.
Right. That may be harmful predominantly in the general election, and as you mentioned, this is only sort of a recent development in the election, but it may manifest itself on Super Tuesday, where the recent shift, especially in the Ohio campaign, away from the economy and a little bit more towards social issues, may discourage young people from getting involved with the Republican Party primary at this point.
Are you shocked, though, that in 3 years from when you first got involved with this, when Obama was elected president, to now the shift?
Right. I was at the high school level back 4 years ago, and even among 18-year-olds, the youngest of the young voters, there was a lot of enthusiasm. You're definitely not seeing that this year at the high school level, and even at the college level, it's starting to drop off a bit. So a lot of work is going to need to be done between now and November in order to get those numbers up.
Okay, well, we're going to talk more about it as the morning moves on. We're live at Hope Presbyterian in Cordova. Earle Farrell, Fox 13 News.
So how busy are the polls here in the Mid-South? They opened just about 2 hours ago. As we've been saying all morning, it's now our turn to have our voices heard. Fox 13's Earle Farrell is live in Cordova with more on that story. It is with a Generation Y political commentator. Good morning.
Good morning, yeah, Luke Vargas, and Vargas. Say it to him.
This is a recurring theme. Vargas.
There you are. He's an expert. He's been saying it all his life. You're from Boston.
That's right.
Going to NYU now.
Mm-hmm.
And so your first year out of this, back 3 years ago during the presidential election,
right,
you got to see a little bit up in Vermont and the Boston area, right?
Right. Well, actually, tons of events in New Hampshire, which was just a short drive away from where I was going to school.
And so then you wanted to really get a bigger experience this year, so you're really going all over the United States with the campaign.
Right. I took the show on the road from Iowa to New Hampshire, then to South Carolina, and now here to Tennessee and on to Mississippi and Alabama next week.
And the views of the different states, I mean, are you seeing a difference in, like right now, everybody thought Santorum was going to be in a huge lead. All of a sudden, that seems to be narrowing as the day goes on.
Right. Well, specifically with young people, things have been changing, whereas in some of the earlier states, there was a higher likelihood the young people were going to sort of buck the general trend of where the rest of the demographic field, who they were going to vote for. Now we're seeing young people mostly sort of coalescing around the inevitable winner of each state. I'm trying to figure out why this is. One reason, I think, is that so many of these young college Republican groups, one of the major activities they do is go to these big conferences like CPAC and other places where there are a lot of establishment figures. They have, there was just the meeting of the Tennessee College Republicans just this past week, and they have a lot of speakers from the congressional delegation. Those people generally support more of the establishment candidates.
So you think these young people are being influenced by the old salts, is what you're saying?
I think we're definitely seeing that happen. They're not revolutionary young people who are willing to vote for, fringe candidates. I think generally they're going to probably toe the line with the inevitable winner, I would guess, here in Tennessee.
Well, we'll find out as the day moves forward. Keep in mind that the young people are in school this morning because public schools are in class today, and the college students, well, they're on campus as well. So maybe there'll be more activity at the polls after school lets out later this afternoon. We'll find out. In the meantime, the voters are brisk here at Hope Church on Walnut Grove, and we'll stay here and monitor the situation through midday. Live in Cordova, Earle Farrell along with Luke Vargas.
The GOP presidential primary, not the only ticket there that people. So how busy are the polls right here in the Mid-South? They opened just a few hours ago. Fox 13's Earle Farrell is live in Cordova with our special guest, political commentator for the Y generation, Luke Vargas, is with him.
That's Luke Vargas. You got it, Greg. And it's been an interesting morning. We got here well before the polls opened, and the workers got here. And when they opened at 7, it's a small trickle. But within the last 30 minutes, we've really started to pick up.
It is picking up. You know, a woman just walked in, and there are a bunch of people pulling into the parking lot now, so good signs.
And everybody's coming in and said they've been watching us, so maybe we have something to do with this.
Right. How could you resist?
How could you? But the people that we are talking to, there's a couple of them. It's kind of interesting when you watch them go by the poll people that are working out there on the street. They can't get any closer. These are Santorum guy out there. And some of them, he said, hey, you want to know more about Santorum? A couple of them said, okay. A couple of them said, no, thank you. Right.
Well, so this gentleman here from the Santorum campaign, he's from, I guess, the Memphis area organization for the campaign, and he said they got the directive to try to find volunteers to go to polling sites where they thought Santorum actually really stood a chance to do very well. So by process of deduction there, then this is a polling site where the Santorum campaign thinks they'll do well, and about 1 in every 3rd voter stops and chats with the gentleman, and that's a very good sign that maybe they're last-minute voters who are going to tip to Santorum.
Now, this young lady just went by that she gave him the wave off.
Right.
The international sign for I don't want to know anymore. And but here comes another young man. So they're starting to move in a lot more. And I talked to some of the poll workers inside, and they said that this particular precinct here at Hope Presbyterian gets real busy after work when the young moms and dads get off work, pick up the kids at the daycare center, come by here and vote. It's also when you're going to start seeing a lot of young people who are in school right now. A lot of classes, like at Houston High, don't let out until 2 o'clock. So,
or asleep, right?
Or if they're like many of the young people I know, including this knucklehead, he'd still be asleep, so I had woken him up to sleep. But we'll be here till 11 o'clock, and we'll give you an update on what the traffic's like. But the sun's getting warm, and traffic's picking up, so that's a good sign. Don't you think?
Very much so.
He agrees with me, whatever I say. Live at Hope Presbyterian Church, Earle Farrell and Luke Vargas. Fox 13 News.
I'm glad you got it right. I think he was trying to make him a child of Nick Vargas.
He was.
He kept calling him Luke Vargas, but it's Vargas.
It is on. Super Tuesday is officially here. The polls open here in the Volunteer State at 7 o'clock this morning. Question is, how big is the turnout for this important day? Fox 13's Earle Farrell has been in Cordova all morning long, and he joins us now with our Fox 13 political contributor, Luke Vargas. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
To the 5 o'clock to hour show.
Good morning. Yeah, we're here with Luke Vargas, and he's out of Boston, now at NYU. But you started your journey in politics back in high school in Boston.
That's right.
Covering the primaries then.
Yep, 4 years have gone by, and I'm still in the same place. A different state, but the same themes.
Yeah, you're moving on. That's the important thing.
Right.
Now, we've been here. We're at Hope Presbyterian in Walnut Grove all morning long, and I just checked with the lady inside. One of the poll workers said they've had 107 voters turn out so far, and they said at one time there were 3,000 people registered at this precinct, which I would call that a light turnout so far today.
Right, they're straggling in, and there was actually someone from the Santorum campaign earlier. He's gone home or taken a lunch break or something, so the momentum comes and it goes.
You got to stick-to-itiveness, to ride it out, but he's gone to another poll to work it there, because the crowd kind of stopped. There was a pretty steady trickle, and then it kind of stopped, but it looks like people are starting to get out now. It's getting close to the lunch hour and casting votes, but we'll be checking around the city. But it is a light turnout, has been all day long, and you can't blame the weather because the weather is just about perfect out here right now. So hopefully more people will turn out after work this afternoon, and then when school lets out, to get some more young voters out there. Anything you want to add to it, Luke?
Not really. Let's send it back.
Well, that's all we can do here. Try to do some more damage later. He's a smart young boy. We'll be back live out in Cordova at Hope Presbyterian Church with Luke. Earle Farrell, Fox 13 News.
All right, Luke and Earle, thanks so much.